Good morning, or maybe good afternoon in your place, or give it good evening. Here in the Philippines, it's still morning. It's 7:40. So we're going to make the facing for the sleeves, for the armhole, and the neckline. Since we haven't going to sew the upper part of the dress, we will show you how to make the facing. Okay. For this part, which is the armhole for the front bodies, we're just gonna trace it like this. So this one has already allowance. This is what we use for cutting the upper part of your dress. And that's it. Okay. This is the the armhole, yeah. And then you cut it this way. You cut it this way. Just go around. Because it has already an allowance. So it's like this. Now we'll have to measure how thick is your facing. So if you want it 1.5, it will go down 1.5 up to here. So we'll just mark it and then cut it. Go around until you finish marking 1.5. There. So we had already make a mark. We will cut it. For this one, you have to make 2 pieces of this. And for the back, it's the same. You have to copy also this armhole. Like this. You trace it that way, and then trace it, and go up until you reach the shoulder. Here. Since we had already decided how thick the facing is, it should be also 1.5 inch going down until you finish marking 1.5. And go around. Then here. So we have to fold this one here when you cut it, so that the allowance is also 1.5 inches, that way. So it's like this, okay? So you go up cutting this one here, and then go around the armhole. Until you finish, and then the inner side, which is the edge of your facing. Okay. We'll go around the markings and cut it. This is now your facing. This one is the back facing. So you have to make 2 pieces of this, and this is the front one. So 2 pieces also. If you make the facing for the neck, I had already given you the clue on how to make the neck. Okay, this one. We're gonna trace it, the original cut of the neck at the back. This is the back pattern, which is your back baddies. Now, what we do here is like this. As I have told you, you have to measure how deep the back is. I told you on the last video, we have to lower the center, which is here, this one here. So you have to lower 1/2 inch. But if you are going to make it wider and decided to make it 3/4 of an inch at the top of your shoulder, mark that one here. As you go, you have to trace going up like this. And go that way. Now this is the cut for the back neck, which is the opening of the neck. So we will cut it. Cut it like that. And then cut also where you have your final shoulder, which is this way. If we put this one, it's like this. Yeah. We have cut already 1/2 of an inch here at the very center of the neck for the back facing. But on the shoulder, we cut 3/4 of an inch here. So the neck is already wide. So what we do here is we're going to measure the thickness of the facing, which is 1.5. As we go down, we increase the thickness of the facing. So this one here, as you go down, we increase by 1/4 going down to the center of the back. Okay, so we're gonna cut that one like this. Why we make the bottom more thicker than the shoulder? Here it's 1.5. Here as you go down, you have to increase 1/4 of an inch and have this size for the back facing. Okay, now we will go to the front bodies. If we're going to make a V-neck, as I have told you, you have to cut this part at 3/4 of an inch. But because we need the dip of the cut for the V-neck, we need to put it only 8 or 9 inch. Because, you know, sometimes people doesn't want to show their cleavage for their buses. Okay, so here we do 8 only. Here. We will mark 8 here from the shoulder going to the center of your pattern, which is the front bodies. This is the mark for 8 inches. And then we have to mark also 3/4 of an inch here at the shoulder, at the edge of your neck. Here. This is the edge of your neck going down this way. So we will use the ruler, which is this one. This one. So we will place the tip of the ruler at the shoulder. Okay. If you want to have more curve, you can use the outer part, or if you want a little bit like it looks like a straight one, you have to use the inner curve. But this one we're gonna use the outer curve. We will place the ruler this way. So it's like this. So you will cut that one and make a facing. But what we do here is we're just gonna trace it first. It's like this. So you place your other material for cutting for the facing like this. So you will know that it is exactly the same with the pattern. So you mark this one here and also mark this one on this part. Now you will place your ruler at that part of your pattern. So we will close this by putting this mark for the shoulder. Okay, now we will place this ruler like this again. As you can see, it's 8 inches from the ruler that we have. It's like this. Okay. Since this is the center fold, you just cut it as if it's only half of the center of your breast here. So we will cut it like this. But before that, you got to measure 1.5 inch thick. Okay. So we will place the ruler again like this. And mark it. Going that one, like that. Okay, we're gonna cut it like this. Remember, this is the center fold here. Here, it's like this. This is the front facing. So it's like this. If you place it like this here, it is like that. Okay, but this one is not cut, but it is whole when you cut it on your material. Okay, we will show you how. Now we had already the facing, and we need to cut the materials. Okay, this one is for the back neck. Okay, this one is the back neck, and this one here is the front. This is the center fold. Center fold for your neck, front neck. Okay, this one is the back facing for your armhole. Back facing for your back armhole. This one is the front facing. For the neck, for the armhole. Armhole. Okay, now we are now ready to cut this. Okay, when we had the body's part for your dress, there is something like a extra piece of cloth that was left. Okay, because this is 60 inches wide, so we have this part. So we will place the facing like this. we have to make first the center facing for the front, okay? So when you place it, it's like this. You have to economize cutting all your materials so that it will be enough for you to make everything that you want for your dress. Do not just cut and cut and cut without doing economizing or maybe reducing some cut that are not supposed to be done on your cutting for all the parts of your dress. Now, as you are cutting it, you can see that sometimes there is an excess of the edge, but never mind if there are some parts that are too big for your facing. Anyway, you can just adjust it when you are sewing, because cutting for the pattern is somewhat like the material is moving, so you will not just cut it like when you finish cutting you have to cut again. No, this one is the front facing, okay? So you can place this on your, though it is like this, sometimes you can just a little bit repair it like this, but do not do it all around, okay? This is not the facing for the front. Okay, so we will go now to the back. Here. For the back part, it should be like this. You're gonna place this one here. Try to look all the parts that was cut already, whether your pattern will fit everything that you cut from your materials. So sewing is not just doing cutting and cutting all the time, but making it better for you, that you can use all your materials for good. Okay, so this one here, it's good. Now we will cut it this way. So when you cut, never mind if there are some excess from the edge, but you can have it good, or you can fix it after you have already attached to your dress. Okay, it's like this. So when you cut your facing, be sure not to over cut the edge, or because sometimes the scissor, when it cuts, it seems like there is an extra. Okay, now Because this one is a hole, we need to cut at the middle part of the back. So it's like this. Now you have your two pieces facing for the back, okay? It's like that. And then we will go to the facing for the armhole. This one is too long, so we will see whether we can place it here for the extra part that what's left when we had the what we call the first part of your dress, which is the front and back. Okay. You have to look whether the strand of the material is just straight like this. So this is the place where you can put your pattern for your facing. This one is only one, okay? Okay, we'll go around this. And cut. Anyway, if it's like there is an excess on the edge, it's easier to repair or maybe cut some of those excess part. Okay, now we will cut this way too. Go around until you finish cutting. Okay. We have just cut one piece. Okay, so we will make one more for the back facing. Now we will use this one. Yeah. Because we just folded for the part that was left from the first part of your dress. So let's use this one here. We will not just waste all parts that was left because we're going to economize cutting your materials. Okay, if you finish cutting the back part, you may also proceed cutting the front facing for the armhole. Now, you have two pieces now for the facing at the back. This is it. So, when making the facing, this should be this wide, because you know, if you will just put 1 inch, it's not good. So we're gonna have to make 1.5 inch all around. Okay. And the next one is your front facing. We will make it double. So we will just have to make the materials folded into 2 at the edge. Okay. It's like this. As I have told you, you have to economize everything that you do when cutting. Because if you need some more parts of your cloth, used to make something like you want some more for the design of your dress, do not just cut anything too big, or the space is too big for you to cut the materials for your facing. You have to use your cloth properly. So it's not just like doing like a drawing. You can just do it anywhere you want, whatever your material is. But when you cut a dress, you have to economize it. Okay, it's like the material is moving. Oh my goodness, my scissor is not even doing well. Okay. We will see after we finish cutting it, we will see the excess part. This way. So now we're almost done cutting it. Okay. It's like there is an excess on this part. So we'll cut it and then separate the shoulder, because this is a 2-piece facing. Now you have your finish already cutting the facing for your dress. So if ever you need more of this, don't just throw it away. Okay? And now we have already finished cutting the facing for your upper part of your dress. I hope you understand how it should be done for all the patterns that you have for your facing. And especially if you want to do something like cutting another part of the dress. Actually, when we cut, we always have all the parts of your facing. So this one is the V-neck, and this one is for the back neck, and this is the front facing for your armhole, and this is your back facing for your armhole. I hope you have already learned how to make your own facing for your dress. If it's a sleeveless and you don't have anything on the neck but just as simple as V-neck. Thank you, and I hope you will learn more as you subscribe and have all the lessons that we will have to teach you on how to make a good dress. Thank you and have a good day.